Hey everybody, Han Turkey here. Welcome back to my channel. Today with a very special guest, my friend Mary Cowden. We met on the set of All American. She's an actress that just moved out to California. And I'm so happy that you're here to talk to me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Mary, thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. So, how long have you been out in California? You told me that you just moved here a little while ago.
Exactly.
How's it been, and where did you start your inspiration to become an actress in the industry?
That's a great question. So I actually moved out here from Colorado around like 3 months ago, just because I've definitely been in the modeling industry and like a little like commercial industry back in like Denver, Colorado Springs area, but I've always dreamed of like acting in movies, like bigger commercials, so I definitely wanted to take it into like the next step forward. So I thought, why not LA? Like, go all in, you know?
Yeah. Was there any actors or actresses or filmmakers that inspired you when you were in Colorado to move out here and like, I want to do what they're doing?
Yes. Honestly, I was just graduated college. I was in like the medical field, and my friend Jared actually is an actor out here, and he was kind of like telling me about like what he does for a living, and I was just so inspired. And I was like, wow, I never knew like you could actually move out to LA and like chase your dreams. So he definitely like helped me like move in that aspect.
That's good. It's always good to have a really good support system when you move out here.
Yeah, exactly.
People that are going to have your back, people that are going to offer opportunities to you, and you can work with them. And it's a struggle when you first move out here. I remember when I moved out here in 2002, I was all alone, and I had to build my network from there. And it takes a while, but you'll get there.
Okay.
And the doors will just keep opening for you.
That's amazing.
The industry in Colorado, is it a little bit different from here?
I would say so. It's a lot more small. It's like smaller, and it's more commercial based, not really acting like in movies based, I'd say. And I did have an agent out there. I don't have one like over here yet, which I'm like in the process of trying to like get like a manager or something, just so I can expand to like movies and like more commercials out here.
Cool.
Do you have any like advice for that?
Well, a long time ago, it used to be you'd get like a stack of 100 envelopes, and you put your headshot, your resume, and a cover letter, and you just mail them out to all the agencies and see which one would give you a call or send you a little postcard back. I mean, that was 2002.
That makes sense.
A lot of it now is like either electronic submission. I've seen like advertisements or ads for agents on Now Casting, Actors Access, and you can electronically submit your stuff to them, and then they will get back to you. It's a big game of fishing, you know.
That's true.
There are still some people that do it old school style, where they have the envelopes out and they look up all the reputable agents and they just mail it out that way, and then they put a little postcard in there that has a stamp on it, and then they send it back to you to see if they're interested in representing you. I don't know if that still works anymore, but some agents are still they still like the old school stuff.
Okay,
you know.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so getting an agent it's just a big game of fishing. That's all it is.
That's good to know. And that's a good point with like Actors Access. I've been like trying to submit myself for smaller roles. That way I can like get reels together, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and there's actually services out there that will shoot a minute or two scene for you with an acting partner, and then you can use that for your reel.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
or you just, you can shoot all that stuff literally on your phone now.
That's
You just
true.
get like a nice light like that and shoot a master, some coverage, and then you have something for your reel.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then you just make up a name of like where it came from, like what short film it was from, and no one's gonna know. They see thousands of reels, so it's just like, oh, they were in this short film. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It definitely it's a lot of maintaining yourself when you're out here with your looks and getting new headshots if your look changes, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. So
That makes sense.
yeah, it's a big game to keep up with.
That's good to know.
Have you auditioned before? Have you been to any auditions, and what was your first experience like if you did go to one audition?
If I'm being honest, I have not been to like a formal audition yet
No?
for acting. No. Have you?
Oh yeah. You can take classes for that. They'll teach you how to do it. You can meet with private coaches too. They'll teach you how to do it, or you practice at home. You practice standing on a mark,
Mm-hmm.
and you practice reading the dialogue that they give you. You can go to a website where you can get all these mock sides from different TV shows and movies, and you can use that as practicing.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the more comfortable you are,
Mm-hmm.
the more comfortable they're going to see that confidence when you go into the audition room.
For sure.
Yeah, because I've worked in a lot of audition rooms before,
Mm-hmm.
and you can tell automatically the first person that comes in, if they don't know what they're doing, it's all right. Well, go ahead and read for me, and if they read exactly the same way, it's usually like, okay, thank you, and they're not going to get hired.
That makes sense.
But if you walk in with confidence, like you've practiced and you've done this before, then they're like, all right, we can work with this person.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
Sure. That's
So it's always good to practice at home. Have a little mark on the floor and
Okay.
have a camera. Just get really comfortable with it, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is that how you started like building your acting career? Is that how you got like the movies that you're going to be doing later this summer?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
It's mainly because of like relationships out
Yeah.
here. You have to have really, really good business relationships, and you got to keep them going. It's like I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
That makes
So I help these people make their movies. Like I help them either cast or get the right crew or some financing for it. In exchange, I want a role in their movie. I want an executive producer credit in the movie, and I want, if they can give me ownership like points, I'll take points too. So that's how I've been doing it. And that's how I've been able to open up a lot of doors for myself, is just reaching out to filmmakers that need that help and say, hey, this is what I can offer you in exchange. I will do it for this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's then that's how you just network too. And if you keep working with these people, they're going to keep hiring you again
Okay.
and bring you on for more movies. And that's how I was able to do with the guy I'm working with in England. He liked how I worked on his first movie. Now he's putting me in every single movie that he does.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I have to do a lot of helping out. Like I have to put a shoot together for LA, and it's a lot. But you learn as you go. So if anybody asks you, have you produced before? That's a perfect opportunity for you to learn what goes on behind the camera to put
Okay.
a film together.
For sure.
And it also helps you as an actor too, because
Okay.
like you'll respect everybody's position, and you know all the stuff they've been through
Yeah,
being on the other side of the camera.
that's very true.
Yeah.
I agree. That way you have like the whole picture. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
And a good way to also practice auditions too is student films. Like if you submit for a lot of student films and get called in for those, those are great practice.
Okay.
And I did a lot of that in Orlando. That's how I got started. I was very comfortable with the camera as soon as I came out here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I've definitely been submitting myself for those. Hopefully to like hear back from some. that
Okay.
I can start. And then Jared's been like trying to coach me through like some acting, which is awesome.
Right on. Yeah, all about the support group,
Agreed.
people supporting you. And what kind of films do you want to do? Like, do you see yourself being like a comedy person, a horror person, paranormal, any of those categories?
I would honestly be up to trying like any role. I think I'd fit in a lot of specific roles. Like for example, horror films, I feel like the naive girl, I would definitely fit that role. And yeah, funny comedy, those roles too.
Yeah. Yeah, horror films are fun to do. They can be very messy, they can be very bloody, and you could always be the character that ends up dying.
That makes sense, I can see that.
My wife keeps saying, why do you keep being the character that keeps getting killed off in the movie? I'm like, well, that's just what I get cast as,
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, all those films are very fun. The horror films, you'll definitely get very messy with a lot of fake blood.
That makes sense. Do you do a lot of those movies?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Very cool.
I always get thrown in the mix of one of those.
Oh,
Or
nice.
like the film I'm doing in the UK is The Haunted Studio, and it's about this studio, a film studio that's cursed by a ghost that was summoned during a fake scene in a movie. So the movie kind of takes place in a movie,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'd be excited to watch that when it comes out.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a lot of work, and, you know, coming down to dialogue, like memorizing things, that can be very tricky as well, and you have to find your own way of memorizing dialogue. Have you ever had to memorize anything before?
Yeah, so when I was younger, all throughout high school and college, I've done like the musical theater side of things. I've had to like memorize like plays and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like
Yeah.
those little green booklets, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I remember that. And you said you did musical theater, so that's also a very good way to start. I started when I was doing theater in high school,
Oh, nice.
and then for film, you got to learn to bring that down a
That makes
notch.
sense.
Because when you're on stage, you make everything so big for
Yeah,
the
like
audience.
entire audience for sure.
That's fun. So you're a singer,
Yes, I was in a choir for most of my life.
right on. Have you done any like cover songs or solo pieces that are out there?
I did. They're not recorded. I bet they're recorded somewhere. But probably on my mom's phone, but I don't have them personally. But yes, I do have some.
Right on. Well, if you ever upload them to YouTube, just let us know, and we'll put them in the link below so people can listen to
Oh, cool.
your singing. Or if you upload them to one of those websites where they have like music playing, like Spotify or something like that, just let me know.
Okay, cool.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm going to being on set and being like you've done background work,
Yeah,
and that's how I met you was on All American.
for sure.
What was your first show that you worked on, and what experiences did you learn by being on that set?
I actually worked on All American. That was my first one.
The day that you met
Yes.
me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When I met you, so you definitely taught me like all the ropes.
Right on. And what was when you went onto set, like, what was your overall reaction? Was it what you expected or even more?
I was enamored by how like the sets worked, and then when they were like recording, I didn't realize how short each scene was, and then they could just like do it over and over again to make it perfect. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I loved it. I was very happy when I was there.
Well, hopefully there will be opportunities where when you're doing background, they'll upgrade you to do something fun.
Oh,
You know, like
okay.
getting a line or things like that, because that happens all the time.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sometimes it can be rare depending on what set you're working on. Like I've heard a lot of stand-ins and extras get upgraded to, you know, a special featured thing or a line. So
Oh, very
yeah, I hope that
cool.
happens for you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Has it happened to you before?
Yes.
Oh,
When I
very
first
cool.
moved out here, I got a stunt contract, and I had
Oh, wow.
known nothing about upgrades or anything like that. So when I was working on this movie, the stunt coordinator put pads on my shoulders and knee pads on me underneath my wardrobe, and the background guys were like, "Hans, you know that's a stunt upgrade that you're doing right now." I was like, "What is that?" Like I had no clue what they were saying.
Yeah.
They're like, they're making you do a stunt. You could get an upgrade, and you could get way more money if you
Oh,
file a claim. I said, okay. So I did my stunts and stuff, and then I waited until I was done working on the movie, like 100%. Then I went to SAG, and I filed my claim for my stunt contract, and I was awarded a stunt contract,
Oh, wow.
and I still get little residual checks once in a while from
Oh,
the movie.
really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Little checks for like 10 cents or something like that. And
That makes sense.
yeah, there's a bar in Studio City.
Okay.
You can take your residual checks if they're like 5 cents or 2 cents, and you can turn them in for a drink.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the bar is called Residuals.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I think I've done that one time where I got one for like 15 cents, and took in there, was like, I would like an old fashioned, please. And they're like, okay, coming right up.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. But I hope that happens to you someday.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
it can be a rare occurrence, or it can happen on, you know, like Adam Sandler. He loves to upgrade people,
Okay.
so that happens all the time on his sets. So
Oh, very
hopefully
cool.
that'll work
Yeah,
one day.
for sure. Thank you.
Is there any actors or actresses that you would love to work with out here?
Famous?
Yeah.
Honestly, Zendaya. I think she's an amazing actress, especially like in her films like recently. And then some of like the younger actresses, like girls, and I think Adam Sandler, like you mentioned, would
Yeah.
be like super fun to work with. He's super funny.
Yeah, he likes to run a really fun set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked with him a couple times, and he doesn't break for lunch. He just works all the way through, and he collects lots of meal penalties while you work for him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. I remember it was Sandy Wexler, the movie Sandy Wexler.
Okay.
I had like 14 or 15 meal penalties on my check.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because we didn't break for lunch, and he brought in like a Ben and Jerry's truck, a Chick-fil-A truck. Like, he just kept feeding us like nonstop all day.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Very
and he was
cool.
very personable. You know, you'd go up and have a little conversation with him, and he'd talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
and he loves to upgrade backgrounds. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's good to know.
yeah. Just keep thinking about those people that you want to work with, and
For sure.
it'll happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you ever see yourself wanting to like direct anything at any point?
At this point, I am not sure. I've never had experience directing, but I feel like maybe if I had an opportunity, I would like jump on it. You know.
Yeah.
Like to, like you said, like seeing like the whole picture of how a film goes would be amazing. I definitely tried like the background actor set. I definitely would love to be like a actor, I guess now. I don't know how to call that. And then I'd love to like see how all the aspects work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll definitely, the more that you do background work and you see how all this stuff happens, like you'll definitely catch on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I learned to stand in. Like, have you ever been asked to stand in yet?
No, but
No?
I've seen other people do it. It's very cool.
There you go. So somebody asks you, "Hey, have you stood in before?"
Mm.
They can be like, "Yep, I have." Okay, this is what you're gonna do. Then you go up to the stand-ins and say, "So what do I have to do?"
Oh, gotcha.
That's how I did it. That's how I got to be a stand-in, was just being near the other stand-ins, and the AD said, "Hey, have you stood in before?" I said, "Yeah, I have." And he's like, "Okay, we need a day player stand-in for this guy over here. So there are stand-ins here. They'll tell you what's going on." I'm like, okay, and so I started asking them all questions, like, "All right, what am I supposed to do?"
Oh,
Okay, and then I started learning, and then now I love standing in.
Oh,
It's
very
fun. So if you ever
cool.
get a chance to stand in, do it. You're gonna
Okay.
learn a lot, and the crew, you know, you feel like you're more part of the crew when you stand in
That
too.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I get that. Very cool. How about
Yeah.
you? Have you directed anything? I feel like on your social media page, it looked like you were like a producer on some shows.
Yeah, I've directed several like short spec commercials,
Wow.
several
very
short
cool.
films when I was going to film school.
Okay.
Um,
Thanks.
the 2 Coca-Cola commercials I did were not official Coca-Cola commercials. They were just specs, and a lot of people do that just to show what kind of work they can do as a director.
Okay.
I didn't know that those 2 videos were going to launch my YouTube channel, because as soon as I put them out there, like I only had maybe, I want to say like 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and as soon as I launched those 2 commercials, all of a sudden it just kept going and going and going.
Oh wow.
And now, like, I have to make more content for my channel.
Oh,
If my
that's
channel is
amazing.
growing, I need to keep it growing. And then all of a sudden, 1,000 subscribers became 10,000, and then now it's 22,000.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
That's
so you just got to
amazing.
keep it growing, and you got to keep your subscribers happy. Because if there's a period where you don't release any videos, the activity on your channel is going to go just down like that.
That makes sense.
So this interview and the other interview I did
Mhm.
will be the first couple ones I've done in a while.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah.
Very cool.
And if you want, like, you should open up your own YouTube channel, put
Yeah.
your real stuff up on there, put your music things up on there, people will find you.
Okay.
and put all your contact info in there, and you know.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's see. Going forward into the future, within, let's say, the next like year or so,
Yeah.
where do you see yourself, and what would you like to be doing?
In a year, I see myself as being an actress on like an actual like show or a commercial that's like super big. And I actually really want to be a social media influencer too, so I've been working on like the TikTok page and trying to grow my Instagram right now as well. So yeah, those are like my 2 big goals right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll also have links to your social media
Okay.
in this video, so people can find you on Instagram and subscribe on TikTok.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I have a TikTok channel. I think we just connected on
Yes.
TikTok. How is that for you? Is it fun?
It is. I've
Yeah.
been taking it seriously for like a couple weeks now, but I love making videos. I think it's so fun, and I love posting and seeing like how I can help and hopefully to like build a whole community like on my TikTok page that loves like fashion and loves like video and acting and everything like that.
Yeah, and it all comes down to how you hashtag your videos too, right?
Yeah,
You
for
have
sure.
to hashtag them properly for people to find them, and yeah, I like if I find like a random video on my phone, like you know what, I should upload this to TikTok and just see what
Yeah.
happens with it. And
Agreed.
some of them do like really well, and some of them just kind of
Like flop. Yeah.
fall flat. But
Agreed.
yeah, that's good to have. And then Facebook too. I know we just connected on
Yeah,
Facebook.
for sure.
Are you going to be get more active on Facebook as well?
Facebook, I feel like it's going to be more like friends and family.
Yeah.
I think right now I'm just focusing on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay.
To grow.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of casting now, they look at how many followers you have and
Exactly.
stuff.
I've seen
So
that.
I started a fan page for my Facebook, and
Oh really?
yeah,
Oh, that's amazing. That's smart.
I had one about a year ago, and Facebook completely wiped out my profile, and I had like 3,000 fans on my fan page.
Oh wow.
And since my main profile was linked to my fan page, once your page gets wiped out, everything associated with it gets wiped out. So I'm like, oh my god!
Wow.
I had to rebuild my page all over
Oh
again.
my gosh.
I
That's
lost
so
all of my photos, all my videos. Some of it was on a hard drive that I have, so I've re-uploaded all that. But that's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
Yeah.
when you build all those followers over time.
Yeah. So if you ever do that with Facebook, make sure he's an administrator, so he will always have access to the page, and that way that page will not get wiped out.
Okay, that's so
Because I was the
smart.
only administrator, and that's why they just wiped my page out.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
so crazy.
And they didn't give me a reason why, which made me really mad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can imagine. That's
There was
crazy.
one day I wasn't able to log in, and I sent my ID to show that this was me, and they're like, your page has been permanently disabled. I'm like, why?
Oh, that's so
What did I do?
crazy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I'll look for that.
Yeah, so with my Facebook page, I always keep it to like either personal stuff or just my career
That
stuff.
makes sense.
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah.
Very cool.
Cool. Let's see. Do you have any advice that you want to give to anybody that's thinking about packing their bags and moving out here?
Yeah,
Something you'd like to tell them?
I'd honestly say go for it and chase your dreams. If you know that's what you're meant to be doing, I feel like start now before it's too late.
Yeah.
Definitely wish I started earlier, but yeah, that's my advice.
Very well said. When you drove out here, right?
Yes. I
Okay. When that morning you sit in the car and you're like, oh my god, this is where I'm going. Is that how I felt? It was like an adrenaline, like I'm doing it, I'm going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
That's how I felt too. My dad and I drove out here, and
Oh wow.
it was super early in the morning. I was like, all right, this is it, I'm going.
That's amazing.
And I have not turned back since.
Very cool. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, don't give up, and if doors don't open for you, open up your own doors and just start plugging away and start connecting yourself with the right people.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, thank you for
And being
having
on.
me.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely. And to support her work and what she's doing, I'll link her TikTok and her Instagram below so you can subscribe and follow her in her journey. And I hope to work with you someday again.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Being an actual, like, we can act together.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Mary, thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah, thank you.
If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the notification button below for more videos and more things like this coming up. Mary, thank you again.
Yeah.
See you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.